The research report is the final step in doing your research. You need to report your research findings. So the key purpose of any research report is to offer a clear description of what has been done in the various stages of the research process. You describe how you do your literature review, develop your methodology, and after that, the system design or research design, experiments, results, discussion, and everything. It is important to identify the specific purpose of the report so that it can be tailored accordingly. Example, simple descriptive report, comprehensive report, offering alternative solutions. So the written report also has its own purpose. Not all written reports are the same. So depends on the place or maybe the organization that you need to submit the report to. The type of report could be a simple descriptive report with no structure, or could be a comprehensive report that is well structured, offering alternative solutions. For you as students, when you do your research or master thesis, you need to write a research report in terms of research project report or dissertation or thesis. Results of the study and recommendations to solve the problem have to be effectively communicated to the sponsor. Your sponsor now is the evaluators, the examiners, the Center of Graduate Studies. This is your sponsor. But when you do some research for example, for some organizations, and this research is funded by some organizations, so the people or the sponsor that he should see the results of the research are the people who are funding, who give the money, who are benefiting from such projects, so that suggestions made are accepted and implemented. Based on your research findings, they can take your results and implement them, accept and implement. So you are going to send your recommendations after you finish all the study or the results of the study to your sponsor. Contents and organization of written report and oral presentation depend on the purpose of the research study. So what should be the contents for this report, and what should be the oral presentation, which is the defense or the presentation for of this report, depends on the purpose of the study and the audience to which it is targeted. If your target is the top management, so you will give them something that will be more important for them to take some decisions. Maybe you talk to them, your results will talk to them in terms of numbers that can give effect, yes, on their process, or maybe show them the benefits from doing such things in terms of money, tell them about the expenses that, so you talk with them in their own language. But for you as a student, you study, you do research to graduate, so you need to, your target is the body of knowledge. You give your recommendation to the knowledge, to the people who will continue this research after you finish. So there is no research which is complete or totally complete. So you still have some limitations in your study that your followers will continue to do what you have done or what you have started. So your target or your audience are the researchers who are doing research in your area. So you add something to the knowledge, then they will continue doing the same thing. Okay? And also, your audience for, in terms of examination, are your supervisor and your examiners, because you are the people who will monitor you and see if you are doing the research in standard and in a good way. So what are the characteristics of our written report? Clarity should be clear. There shouldn't be something that need people to ask you. Don't cover anything. Don't put anything for you. You say, okay, if I say this, then maybe we'll do this and ask this. No. Everything should be clear. You shouldn't open any questions to readers. Conciseness should be also concise. Okay? Don't write a lot of things and it's not concise. Coherence. Coherence, sometimes they call it consistent. You should be coherent in writing. You write in the same style, in the same way. Don't write in one style in part of the report and in another part you don't write. You change your style or you change the way you write. So it gives some confusion. The right emphasize on important aspects. The important aspects in the research you have to emphasize. You have to highlight more. Meaningful organization of paragraphs. When you write some paragraphs, for example, in introduction you write paragraphs. In background you write paragraphs. Let these paragraphs be well organized. The flow of organization. For example, you go from the general to the specific. Don't go from the specific to the general. For example, you are doing in web services. So first we talk about the internet, the information system, and then you go deeper, deeper, deeper. So your paragraphs should be, the flow of your paragraphs should be from the original, from the general to specific. Smooth transition from one topic to the next. Don't suddenly jump from something. You are talking about something and suddenly you jump. Try to get some linking sentences that make this transition smooth. Try to find a sentence that relates between the two topics. So you move from the first topic to the second topic in a smooth way. Okay? Don't suddenly, you are speaking or you are talking about something and then suddenly, you jump to something else. Apt choice of word. Don't choose the words that gives different meanings for people. Try to use the simple words as much as you can. And specificity. Don't be general in all cases, because this is research and you should be more specific. Try to be specific about the problem that you are tackling. Don't write in general all the way. Okay. So what are the contents? These contents you can consider in most types of reports. First thing is the title of your research topic, executive summary or abstract. Abstract is very important, and sometimes it is required to be written in your local language and in English. Why in your local language? Because sometimes your research report will be indexed or it will be copied and put with some local agencies and organizations. So people can read in your own language what you have done.
So is it different between abstract and executive summary?
It is quite the same. Abstract is more academic than executive summary. Executive summary, if you are writing for funding agencies.
So even for your manager or writing proposal for
funding,
But
anything related to expenses, funding, and all these
actually
things.
الربع is called executive not abstract.
Abstract is academic term. Abstract is something that gives a very short image of your research.
Snapshot one.
Yes, but this snapshot should be comprehensive, tells everything about your research. Tell the examiners or the reviewers that, okay, when they read it, they can say, okay, I can review this work or I cannot review it. Because it gives information to the readers about everything in the research in a very brief way. And it has some parts. First part, you should write just an introductory sentence, and after that, the second part is motivation. You have to motivate the reader why you are doing this research. After the motivation, you tell the goal of your research, the aim of this research. And after the goal of the research, you tell how you achieve this goal. So this is the methodology. Okay? Step 1, we do this. Step 2, we do this. Step 3, we do this. And after you finish telling the methodology of your research, you report on some key findings. Don't tell everything. The key, the most important highlighted results, and after you tell these kind of results, you tell what you intend to do in the future. Recommendation, what's your recommendation after that? This is the parts, these are the parts of the abstract. So it tells most of the things of your study. And then table of contents, list of tables, figures, and other materials. Preface, sometimes it's important, sometimes it's not important. Authorization letter. It is called declaration letter in academy. You declare that you do this work. Okay? But authorization, maybe it is for the agencies or for the organizations that this work in this report is authorized, maybe you can use it. But for the academic, the authorization is by default to your institution, university or Center of Graduate Studies. Introductory section is the chapter 1, which is introduction. Sometimes they call it overview. The body of the report, they call the body of the report is the literature review, which is chapter 2. Chapter 3 is research methodology. Chapter 4 is results. Okay, and sometimes they call it data analysis and experiments. And the last chapter is discussion and conclusion. I will write all these parts here. And the last thing is the final part of the report, which is the discussion and conclusion. References and appendix. If you're supposed to write appendix. The body of the report. Actually, the center should have its style, special style for writing the report. It should give some guidelines for the writing. Chapter 1, introduction. Chapter 2, literature review. Chapter 3, research methodology. Chapter 4, data analysis. Sometimes they call it system design. Research design. Chapter 5, discussion Conclusion. It has some different, okay, this is the main body. Okay, for the research that involves management study, for example, which is based on questionnaires and these things, they call it data analysis. But for the technical research, they call it experiments. System design and experiments, or experiments and results. How you do the experiments and what are the results. But for management sciences, they call it data analysis and system design or research design. Discussion and conclusion is for any kind of research. And after that, the references and activities. Introductory section, which is introduction. This one we show in previous lectures. Okay, we said it should contains overview, problem background, problem statement, objectives, research questions, scope, research scope, significance, of research. Maybe you have brief methodology and organization. Introduction, it is here also described. Introduction, which is 1.1. Of course, you will number it. We called it here overview because the main chapter title is introduction. So 1.1 will be overview, and then problem background 1.2, 1.3, and so on. So here is also 1.1, introduction, reason for the research or description of the problem, which is problem background. Sometimes they call it motivation also. Yeah, it could be problem background and motivation. Why should I do this research? Reason for the research. Okay? This is the motivation or reason for research, description of the problem. And then research objective, research questions, scope, research method, and managerial relevance. This is only for management as business. Structure and division of chapters, which is organization of report. How the chapters are organized. This one, structure and division of chapters and research report. You will tell that chapter 2 is literature review. We will do this in literature review in just brief sentence, one sentence or two sentences. Chapter 3 will be the methodology, and we'll do this and this. Chapter 4, same. Okay? So this is the contents of the introductory sentence. The body of the report, you have to write theoretical part, contains an in-depth exploration and clear explication of the relevant literature, which is literature review. This is the first part. Theoretical part is literature review. Contains in-depth exploration. You see, you explore in depth. Okay, and the clear